Nearing the NFL trade deadline of the 2024 season, there was a name that was associated with the Detroit Lions saying that we potentially were interested in Cooper Kupp. And it didn't play out that way. The LA Rams decided to keep the core together and go on a late season Super Bowl run, and they almost made it to the NFC Championship game. And now that the season is over, the LA Rams are trying to expedite a Cooper Kupp trade. It's already a done deal. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I'm sure you have. Kelly Stafford, Matthew Stafford's wife, went off today on a podcast or something, and she discussed her displeasure with this and almost alluded to the fact that if Cooper's gone, then Matthew is gone as well. Check it out. I'm sure you've seen the clip by the time that you've seen this video. So that's gonna play out a little later. We might be talking about him a little later as well. But Cooper Kupp is already on the outskirts. He's already put out a farewell letter. It's just a matter of time. And the LA Rams said that they might be willing. I mean, they're so desperate to get rid of this guy. They said that they might be willing to eat some of the contract for him to be traded expeditiously. Now you have the situation of the reworked part of it, because there's no way a 30-something-year-old receiver is getting $20 million, especially coming off the injury history that Cooper Kupp has had. Now, we talked about him being a Detroit Lion, his connection to Brad Holmes, and more importantly, let me know if you know where I get that from, saying importantly just like that. I'll give you a clue. It's from something that's over 20 years old. It's an album that's 21 years old this year. Put it in the comment section if you know. But more importantly, the connection with Cooper Kupp and Jared Goff. Jared Goff was drafted in 2016. Cooper Kupp was drafted in 2017. They spent all that time together until the 2021 season when Stafford came in and Goff was shipped to Detroit. So there is multiple connections there between our team and Cooper Kupp. But is there a real possibility that the Detroit Lions are in the mix to get Cooper Kupp? Well, here's what Jeremy Fowler had to say, and I want you to tell me what you think about it. How realistic do you think it is for the Detroit Lions to trade for Cooper Kupp?
Well, for much more on this, we bring in our senior NFL writer, Jeremy Fowler, and analyst Andrew Hawkins. In case you didn't know, we're talking about the Rams. Was it obvious? Jay Fowl, what can we expect the market to look like for Kupp?
Well, Elle, the executives I've been texting with today do believe that Cooper Kupp will have a market because he's quarterback friendly. He can make contested catches. He's still the smartest guy on any field he steps on. And he's a hard worker that can set a tone with a new franchise. But we might not be talking about a robust market because of the age, the declining production, some of the injuries. And then he's due $20 million next year. $5.5 million of that is guaranteed. I don't doubt that the Rams would eat some of the money to facilitate a trade, so that could certainly help matters. And as far as early teams that people are sort of bantering about, Pittsburgh Steelers looked into Cooper Kupp at the trade deadline last season. They still have a need there. You know, Washington could look for a compliment to Terry McLaurin. The Patriots would be foolish not to at least check in on this given their receiver situation. And here are a few surprises for you. Detroit Lions, Jared Goff came in the league with Cooper Kupp. That's instant chemistry. And then, Elle, doesn't this kind of feel like a Kansas City Chiefs move a little bit, that they would capitalize on this and make this happen? It just feels like that to me, but we'll see.
Not available for a trade, though, this.
All right. So there you heard Jeremy Fowler, and that's coming from his Twitter account, about the potential people that could trade for Cooper Kupp. And I'll put it like this. I kind of got the vibe from that quote or that segment that Cooper Kupp, and of course I had to switch to myself because the NFL will copyright this. Hopefully they didn't do it. If they did do it, I'll cut that out. But was it more of a maybe the Detroit Lions could do it, or does he have some inside information? I'm going to put it like this. I think it's a little bit of both. I think if you look at the fact that he's an insider, then you make the connection from the trade deadline when Cooper Kupp's name was associated with being traded and the Detroit Lions were kind of in the mix. I couldn't believe it when I talked about it when it came up then. I think that there is some truth. Now, I think that they would be a little down the list. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, every team that he mentioned would be before Detroit. And here's why I could see it happening. We talked about this the other day. Would I be mad if we traded for Cooper Kupp? I would not be mad as long as we have that pass rush solidified. Whatever that takes. If that takes a Trey Hendrickson and a Khalil Mack and a draft picks and another draft pick and another free agent, a trade for Myles Garrett, whatever the situation is, if we're able to do that, then I'm cool with this happening, because Nobody's going to sign him for his current contract. And the Rams are trying to throw this guy. It's almost like he did something. You know what's funny is, remember Jared Goff was traded, and it was you heard kind of some rumors that there was some little stuff going on between Sean McVay and allegedly Jared Goff, which I don't buy for a second, if you know what I mean, because, yeah, that's all I'll say about that. But isn't it kind of funny that the same thing that's happening to Cooper Kupp is the same thing that happened to Jared Goff? Like, it went from, we don't want you anymore, we're trying to immediately get rid of you. That's why I would not be surprised if Matthew Stafford is truly on the move, because he went into, but we'll talk about him a little later. But Cooper Kupp in Detroit, the problem is, it's not even his age, it's not even his health for me. Cooper Kupp, it's the fact that we have a Cooper Kupp already. This is not Cooper Kupp from 3 years ago. Even then, we have Amon-Ra St. Brown is younger than Cooper Kupp was 3 years ago. So with the fact that we would have to trade for Cooper, the fact we would have to figure out that contract, and the fact that we already have a receiver like him on the team when we need a big body dude, then I could see that happening. I couldn't see it happening. But here is how I can retort my own argument. Here's how I could see it happening. The more you start to think about it, the Lions only have 3 receivers under contracts: Khalif Raymond, Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Even with all that, Tim Patrick, Allen Robinson, we still didn't really do anything as far as a receiver. So here's what I could see happening. And I believe Antoine Green is something going on with him. Lions they could trade for Cooper Kupp. We could have Jamison Williams, he's the long ball dude. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the possession guy. Khalif Raymond, still he didn't really become a receiver last year. So this is why it kind of starts making a little bit of sense. The connection between Jared Goff, LA Rams, Cooper Kupp, Brad Holmes. Then if Khalif Raymond is going to be a punt returner, or that's going to be his primary role, don't forget we did sign Ronnie Bell to a future reserve contract, but that doesn't mean he's even going to make the team. So then you add Cooper Kupp. You could still bring back Tim Patrick on a super duper team friendly deal, and maybe sign somebody else in free agency. Maybe Ronnie Bell makes the team. Maybe you take a receiver with one of your 7th round picks that you have. Brad Holmes has no issue doing that. Maybe you take Ronnie Bell was taken in the 7th round, I believe. He was taken late in the draft. You took Antoine Green late in the draft. If we got to be honest, outside of Jamison Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown, when it comes to trading for receivers, Brad Holmes is not the best. You traded for Trinity Benson. You traded for Donovan Peoples-Jones. So you when it comes to trading for wide receivers, you don't have the best track record. So I wouldn't be disappointed. I would only be disappointed if we decide to go a wide receiver when we need an obvious pass rush. And if you decided, like if you don't legitimately have a chance at Myles Garrett, legitimate, like you tried maximum effort, it is not happening. They won 3 first and something else. I could understand that. And you go sign Cooper Kupp. If you go get Khalil Mack, maybe you can trade for Trey Hendrickson. There's some drama coming out of Cincinnati about Joe Burrow is speaking out like, yo, you need to keep this core together. The T. Higgins, the Jamar Chase, don't forget, he didn't get paid. Trey Hendrickson, you paid me. Now you got to pay them, right? Shout out to Joe Burrow for being a stand-up dude. But if you take all of that, the Detroit Lions can still get this done. They can still, so we would have Cooper Kupp, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams. We've got Khalif Raymond, and then we re-sign Tim Patrick, maybe bring somebody else in. Ronnie Bell, practice squad maybe. Tom Kennedy, future reserve. I know he's not a, needle mover, but he's reliable. That's all that matters. Maybe we go out and get a lesser name, but a role player nonetheless. The Lions need receivers. There's no doubt about it. But the issue is the price tag that comes with Cooper Kupp. He's going to bring injury. He's going to bring price. He's going to bring trade capital. But he's also going to bring a solid wide receiver if he can stay healthy. So I could see this happening, but I actually reached out to a guy on Twitter. You guys know him very well. But I reached him. I said, what are the odds of Cooper getting cut? Because that could happen. It could happen. He thinks that they're low. He thinks that there will be a trade taker. but there's a possibility that Cooper Kupp could be cut because he's slated to get like a free $5 million if he's on the Rams the third day of the new league year or something like that. So if they don't do something in the next 5 weeks, then he's guaranteed that money. So I think he'll be moved before that. But let me know your thoughts on Cooper Kupp. Again, we need receivers. Would not be mad only if the Detroit Lions do not address the pass rush. And I know Cooper's coming off injury. I know Brad Holmes has a knack. And sometimes it works out. DJ Reader worked out. Tim Patrick, it worked out. In his Rakestraw, didn't work out. I don't know if he was injured in college. I don't think he was. He might have been. Then you've got Emmanuel Mosley. You've got multiple guys that you signed. Marcus Davenport. You signed so for every Marcus Davenport, you got a DJ Reader. So I'm not going to trip as much on a injured player, especially if they didn't have a season-ending injury. If you had a season-ending, if you're like a Cooper Kupp or you still play 11, 12 games. I mean, DJ Reader played 12 games, and I flipped out last year. DJ did exactly. He outperformed my expectations, and I'm going to give these players a chance from now on. And I'm also going to give Brad Holmes a chance when it comes to injured players. I mean, I'm going to be critical, but, so if he was to get this done and still address properly the pass rush, which I don't know if he can do, or he will do, let's be real, then I got no problem. Because Cooper Kupp, man, I think he's a little more of even at 31, he's a more of a deep threat than Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's not, Amon-Ra had a couple passes, but that's not part of his game. Cooper Kupp helped the Rams make it to a Super Bowl. That was a while ago, and in NFL terms, that's a lifetime ago. But if you had to check Cooper Kupp, Jameson Williams, you don't know where to go. Then you throw in a Tim Patrick as well. That would be something. And our receiver core is not, and then you got Sam Laporta too, Jahmyr Gibbs receiving. That would be something. But let me know your thoughts, man. Do you think Jeremy Fowler was just throwing stuff at the wind, or do you think, I think it's a little bit of both. I think there's some definitely a real possibility that Cooper Kupp, the Lions could be in play for Cooper Kupp. So anyway, this channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.